What's up, everybody? So welcome to my YouTube channel. If for those of you who don't know, I have an audio show called the CWT Business Audio Show, where I discuss business and gives tips and everyone to entrepreneurs and people who are wanting to start a business. Now, I have those on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast Breaker, like pretty much every podcasting platform out there. And I don't really post those on YouTube. But honestly, with this episode, I thought it was so important that I wanted to post it on YouTube. And to be honest, like more episodes like that, like the more episodes, they're just really important that I feel like the more and more people need to listen to. I'm gonna go ahead and start posting some of those on YouTube. So some episodes of the CWT Business Audio Show are gonna be on YouTube, and most of them not. But in the description below, there is a link where you click it, it'll show you the podcast, and you can click what podcasting platform you'd rather listen on, and it'll bring you right to it. So if you want to listen to more of my business audio show, go in the description, click the link, and thank you so much. All right, that's all for me. Let's get into the show. Welcome to the CWT Business Audio Show. So for today's episode, I kinda want to talk about when to give up on the sale. So if you're in business, for pretty much every business, there's something that you're selling, whether it be like a product or a service. There's something that you're selling, and a common sales tactic that people use is never listening to the no, never accepting the no. And honestly, it's a really good sales tactic. But sometimes you have to give in to the no, or you waste your time. Something that I strongly believe in is that if you have a product and you're going up to someone and you're trying to sell it to them, and they're not interested in your product, they're not going to use the product, they're not the target market for your product. Because here's a lesson right here: every single product out there has a target market. They have a market of people that will buy the product, that will love the product, and then there's people that have no interest in the product and will never use the product and will never ever buy your product. I mean, some businesses are different where pretty much everyone has use for it, but for the most part, there's a certain target market for every business. And with that, you need to focus purely on that target market for the most part. Like, you need to capitalize on that target market to the target market, which is a lot of different services nowadays with Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, where you can specifically market to the target market that you need for your product. But when you're selling something, and you go up to someone and they are not interested in that product, there is no reason to focus on that person when there's thousands of other people out there who will be interested. So it's kind of like with that sales tactic, don't take no for an answer. It's a good tactic, but obviously there's a limit. If I'm selling, if I'm selling pins, for instance, I made a YouTube video the other day on talking about how to sell a pin. And if I'm selling pins, and I go up to someone and I'm like trying to sell this pin to them, which if you go on the CWT Business YouTube channel, I gave a tutorial on how to actually sell a pin. But if I'm going up to them and I'm trying to sell them my pin, and they're like, yeah, I'm happy with my pin. My pin's pretty great. And obviously, I wouldn't take no for the answer there. I would keep trying to sell that pin. But eventually, if they're happy with their pin, if they're not going to buy my pin, and they're are not in the market for a pin, it is a complete waste of time to keep focusing on them when I can move on to someone that is interested in a pin, that will buy my pin. Like, every second you spend trying to sell to someone that will not buy your product is a second that you could have made another sale if you would have focused on someone else. So with that, with your business, make sure you are purely marketing to your target market. Make sure you're specifically going after people that are interested in your product or service, and not just selling to everyone. There's a lot of people who just put ads out there and hope for the best. Like, if you make a clothing brand, for instance, you put like your t-shirts, you put ads everywhere and are just hoping for the best. But this is kind of in a lot of things. Everything has a niche. Everything has a group of people that are interested in what you are, that are wanting to buy what you have to offer. Find your niche. On Instagram and Facebook, it's a lot easier to do this. This is why when it comes to marketing, I'm very into social media marketing. I actually base my company purely off social media marketing because it is so easy to target your target market. It's so easy to find them, so easy to market to them, And so easy to do that without completely breaking the bank. And that's what I feel like with cable and everything, it's a lot harder to do, because you put an ad on a show, there's a lot of different people watching the show. You put an ad on Instagram, you select the right hashtags to market to the right people, or do their automated service and have them completely find your target market for you, and you reach the exact amount of people you pay for, and they're actually people that are interested in your product. They're actually people that are wanting to buy your product. And it's genius to me to use those services. So if you have a company right now, make an Instagram, make a Twitter, make a Facebook, do the right hashtags to find your target market, and actually sell to the people who are wanting to buy your product. And stop caring about the people who are not interested. Stop trying to sell to people that are not going to buy your product, and sell to people that are. That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. My Instagram and Twitter is at CWT Business. And that is all. Subscribe to whatever you're listening to this podcast on.